You might be wondering, hey, why is my dentist talking about my breathing? I mean, shouldn't he just focus on my teeth? Well, you might be surprised, but breathing and your mouth and jaw development are very closely related. If there is one thing that can change the life of a kid as their jaw is still developing, it's simply breathing through your nose. There's lots of reasons that breathing through your nose is better than breathing through your mouth, and especially at an early age. One thing we notice is people who are mouth breathers tend to have longer, narrower faces. The reason for this is when we breathe through our nose, our tongue is naturally resting against the roof of our mouth, or the palate. And when your jaw is still developing, like when you're a kid, keeping your tongue against the roof of your mouth will stimulate the stem cells in the palate and cause that palate to expand and widen. Otherwise, when your mouth is open and you're breathing through your mouth all the time, your tongue will never touch the roof of your mouth and your jaw will never expand. So this is why you'll see a longer, narrower face, because instead of your jaw widening, your cheeks will keep everything constricted. And this just changes the way your whole face will look, and it really makes a big difference. So aside from just aesthetics and having slightly different looks, what's the big deal if we breathe through our mouth? Well, when you have a narrower face like this, it can cause plenty of other issues. One reason is you have crooked teeth. Do you ever wonder why so many kids need these expanders and braces and all this other work in their mouth? Well, it all starts with breathing through your mouth. If your mouth is super narrow, like when you're a mouth breather, there's going to be less room for all your teeth to come in. So instead of all of them coming in straight, they're going to come in all different angles, and that's when your teeth are going to be crowded. Now, obviously, as you get older, you can go to an orthodontist and get expanders and get all these teeth straightened out that way, but that's just spending more of your time and hard-earned money. Also, if you wait too long to get this corrected, it becomes a lot harder to expand your jaw. The reason for this is your bone tends to get more and more dense as you age. So the longer you wait, the harder it is to actually expand that jawbone. This is why it's best to expand your jaw when you're a kid. Because again, if you wait too long, it's going to get harder and you might need some surgery or other help to expand your jaw. Another problem that comes with having a narrower face like this is your airway. When you have a narrower mouth, you have a narrower and more constricted airway. In a nutshell, that means you're going to have some breathing problems. With so many cases of breathing issues and sleep apnea on the rise, we have an epidemic in the United States. And when you have a really narrow, constricted face, it really contributes to this. And you start to wonder, how can these people possibly breathe when there's no room for air to get in? Now, obviously, problems like sleep apnea have other causes as well, so it's not just one thing that's causing it, but it still makes a big difference. And another problem with mouth breathing is we simply absorb more oxygen through our nose. Let's face it, humans were meant to breathe through their nose, not through their mouth. When you breathe through your nose, you take longer and fewer breaths. And this gives more time for that oxygen to stay in our bodies and to get absorbed and to spread to where it needs to be. But when we breathe through our mouth, we take faster and more frequent breaths. This means that the oxygen doesn't spend as much time in our bodies, and as a result, we can't absorb as much. Also, our nose filters air way better than breathing through our mouth. You are much less likely to get sick all the time if you breathe through your nose instead of breathing through your mouth. Your nose filters out 98% of bacteria and viruses, so you have much cleaner air when you breathe through your nose. Another issue you get with mouth breathing, you get a dry mouth. Have you ever woken up from a nap and had super smelly, disgusting breath and your mouth is super dry? You're probably breathing through your mouth. When you breathe through your mouth, it dries up all the saliva in your mouth. And that makes you more prone to getting cavities and other problems in your mouth because your saliva is basically a natural defense for your teeth and your gums. And the reason is your saliva has a lot of minerals in it. It can clean away all the plaque and bacteria that are building up. And in doing so, it can make your breath smell better. So I hope you can see that there's a lot of differences between mouth breathing and breathing through your nose and how much of a difference it can really make in someone's life. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably wondering, how come no one ever told me this? I wish I knew this when I was a kid. And I was wondering the same exact thing. And if you were wondering if you were a mouth breather, I made another video on that, and it basically goes over all the signs that indicate that you're a mouth breather, and I put a link to that video in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked that video, and if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel below, and I'll see you in the next video.